Because on this day,
In 1964, Roy Orbison went to #1 on the charts with "Oh Pretty Woman," the title inspired by a conversation.
Yeah,
Orbison was
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Orbison was talking with his fellow writer, Bill Dees, and his wife, Claudette, walked in the middle of the conversation.
Orbison's wife, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Interrupting the conversation to announce that she was going out. And Orbison said, "Are you okay for cash?"
You got enough money, honey?
And his writer pal said, "A pretty woman never needs money.
well,
You can just go out."
What a nice compliment to Claudette.
And see, I mean, that's nice, but I think, you're going out unprepared, just assuming that being pretty will get you anything you want.
Gina, how would you know?
Exactly.
How would you know? I mean,
I always need money.
yeah, come on. You take a wad of cash when you go places.
I've never walked in anywhere and went, "Someone will just pay for things for me."
There's a lot of things about this song I didn't realize. I like the musicians that are on it, playing on this little song.
Yeah, Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen.
No, I mean in the original. Floyd Kramer on piano. These are legendary guys. And Boots Randolph. Boots Randolph, a saxophone player. It's just, I mean, what a great lineup of people on that little song. I think the way the song works so well is that he acts it out, really. He acts out a little story.
But wait, what do I see?
oh, come on.
Has Shatner done this?
No, hang on a second. If you want to talk acting, you need to talk David Lee Roth. All right.
Okay, let's listen to David.
Let's hear. There we go. Let's get to the end. All right. Okay, now you're going to hear some acting. Here you go. See, he sounds dejected.
What do I see? She's walking back.
Yes, Gina, you're right. It's more of a march.
It is, yeah.
It's David Lee Roth marching around the stage.
Now, Tyler the Trash Man weighing in. My 6th grade class did a lip sync to this song for an assembly. My teacher got fired over the summer after I left. I don't know if the two are related.
That might have been the straw that broke the camel's back for your teacher getting fired.
So we went last night so Mohammed's in the school choir.
Your young
and
son.
they had their first performance in 2 years or whatever, and they did it with masks on. So it's there's a singing thing with masks on, which is fine. But
they couldn't have canceled.
Well, no, they're trying to. It was short. It was 15 minutes.
What song
with
did
masks.
they do?
And they did some folk songs, but then they did That Thing You Do from the movie That Thing You Do, and they had choreography, but with masks on.
What folk songs did they do?
Shenandoah. I can't remember. Some African folk song. Yeah.
See,
That's probably better. Sounded great.
That's what it sounded like. Bless their hearts. I'm just happy they're doing stuff.
And I'm amazed that I managed to remember a little bit of Shenandoah.
Very good. Sounded exactly like that.
now see, and then Gina said, "That thing you do, from that thing you do," and I'm like, "No, I've not seen that."
Me
No,
either.
so my husband Joe's sitting next to me my dear husband, who has zero knowledge of any pop culture, anything at all.
Unless it's Iron Maiden.
Yeah. and so he's like, who originally did this song? And I said, well, it's from a movie. They called That Thing You Do.
Let's hear. Is this it? Let's hear
Yeah.
this. Looks terrible.
It's a Tom Hanks movie.
I don't recall ever hearing that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
It's
So-
nobody. Is it who's
But like-
listed doing it, Carrie?
Tom Hanks wrote the song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's The Wonders.
The Wonders.
Not
With
the
a-
Oneaters.
With a Z?
No, I wish. That would explain a lot.
It's a good movie. But
Okay.
But it's funny because my husband, who did that song? I'm like, well, nobody did it. It was in a
But I bet he could sing along with Shenandoah,
yeah.
sort of under his breath.
Yeah.
Mighty river. That's yeah. Well, I'm glad.
But
that
it was, it was
Cute?
sort of, it was cute and
Okay.
sort of normal and.
Mhm.
But then I think, but things aren't. But then I look at the numbers for yesterday. I'm like, no, things are not normal or good or better.
Nothing.
Well, but people are behaving. They're people are just starting to do what they have to do. You got to live your life, and
Yeah, and everybody, and thank God my kid's in the Salt Lake City school district. I feel bad for all you parents that aren't in Salt Lake City because everybody here just gets it. When it's mandated, it's just like, all right, this is what we do. And everybody, the kids had masks on, all the people in the audience had
you
masks on.
feel bad for
and it
us,
was
huh?
fine.
You're real
It was
happy that your
fine.
kid's turning into a socialist, huh? Well, that's fine. I'm keeping my kid at Granite. Okay? Next thing you know, he's going to go be volunteering for the Red Cross or something.
Yeah, maybe.
What kind of crap is that? Going to join the Peace Corps, I'll bet, someday.
Probably.
Well, my kid is not going to do that. My kid is going to work in a barber shop.
What's wrong with working in
No,
a
that's
barbershop?
that's entirely
nothing,
that's entirely too service oriented because
Yeah.
you see that would help people. So your kid won't work in a barber shop. Your kid will learn to be selfish just like you.
What? Wait a minute. Are you talking to me, son?
Yes, yeah, I am.
Your
yeah.
kid won't have a job, so he can go yell at
Yeah.
school board meetings at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning. 'cause
Well,
that's
I'll tell you
can
what
do
my
when you
kid
don't have
can
a
do. He can
job.
kick your kid's ass. I'll tell you that right
Oh,
now.
wonderful. Well, that's good. Yeah.
How much
Kick
does
your
that
kid's
pay?
ass. One side of the road to the other.
All right, and then after my lawyer sues you into oblivion, who wins? My,
The joke's on you, mister. I ain't got no money.
well, okay, then we'll take what you don't have in the future. How about that?
Well.
So that was my evening.
We're too political.
This show's too.
I watched, Gina, just before I know we got to start the show, but I watched the first episode of Seinfeld because you said
Yeah.
you had watched it on
Yeah.
Netflix and you'd made some, I thought it was pretty good.
Really? That first
Yes.
episode?
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, there was too much stand-up comedy in it. You know, how they
Yeah,
would
they
cut to
slowly
Jerry.
got rid of all
Yeah.
of that. Actually.
But did you notice that Kramer's name wasn't Kramer when he came in? It was Kessler.
Kessler. That's
They
it.
called him Kessler in the that was the pilot episode, and they go, "Hey, Kessler, how you doing?" And he was hilarious. You got any meat? You know, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that was interesting is George, Jason Alexander. He and Jerry have a bunch of scenes together.
Yeah.
It was clear who was an actor and who was not.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry got better as the years went
did.
on.
But Jason Alexander was great.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really good. He had comic timing. He knew what he was doing, and it wasn't bad. I didn't think
No,
the next episode was kind of bad.
It was just interesting to see how I don't remember how many years it was on, but how much
9, I
better it got. And
Was it
No, but the thing that's disturbing about the Seinfeld back on TV thing is because it's running on Netflix and on Comedy Central. And Jerry did a promo for Comedy Central. So here's old Jerry on the set of Seinfeld, the old set of Seinfeld, old Jerry, and he's answering the door buzzer or something. But he answers it, and he looks up at the camera and goes, "Watch Seinfeld on Comedy Central." He did a promo, and I'm like, it's clear you don't want to be there. You know you don't
Somebody
need to
made
be
you do
there,
that.
right? You've got the money. You don't need to do this.
What did he get, like $500 million, something like that? For-
Crazy amount of money. All right, let's get this over with.
Yeah, we ought to begin the show. We'll get it over with. We'll take your check-ins, 877-602-9696. Check in with the Radio from Hell show, while you have a chance.
While it's available to you.
Yeah, while Radio from Hell is available for your enjoyment or your hate listening.
You may want to check in with that morning show.
Yeah.
There's still time.
There's still time.
Let me do my dramatic pause.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I stepped on it. 877-602-9696. That's the number to call and check in with the Radio from Hell show when we come back.
All right. Wendy's for breakfast. Again, this is the plan. This is everyone is planning this for the rest of our lives. We're going to sleep in, not have breakfast at home because that makes a mess. It takes too long. It makes you late, and it's rarely satisfying. Let's be honest there. So what you need to do is hit the drive-thru at Wendy's. Sleep in. Hit that snooze button. Go ahead. Just plan on it because Wendy's is always there for you at the drive-up. This deal is for a limited time only. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's and excludes the maple bacon chicken croissant, but we're talking about the Wendy's breakfast croissants for just $1.99. So this is your choice, the sausage or the bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant. So you got the sausage, which is my favorite. I don't know what kind of mixture of spices they've got in there, but it is superior to the rest. Then you got the bacon one. If you want the bacon one, it's oven-baked bacon with your fresh cracked egg and your flaky croissants. Just delicious, absolutely. And only $1.99. Hit the drive-thru at Wendy's.
Starting this afternoon at 3.
That's the music that tells us this is time for Best Question of the Week, and it's a feature that you don't use often enough. This is an opportunity to ask us any question. Email it to us, radiofromhell@x96.com. Put Best Question in the subject line. Send it to us. Maybe we will read your question on the air and answer it, like this one right here.
I can't think of anything.
All right.
I can't think of anything.
So this question comes from a loyal listener. It says, how did you all meet Dave the Flower Guy? He sounds like a great person and was wondering how you all were lucky enough to meet him.
Well, I think Dave, back in the day, we had
Well, it seems to me like you brought us into the orbit. You met him and brought him in, didn't you?
Well, I think, yeah, but
It's been so long.
He was there, so we had the coffee shop, and our back when we were doing our show from the radio station was located at Trolley Corners, and there was a coffee shop there for a while called Airwaves, and there was a glass window, and you could look in from the coffee shop and see us do our show, which was kind of an interesting concept and technique.
I thought that was a great idea for people to come in, get their coffee, and watch the show. And
so I guess Dave was a listener, and he's around the downtown area all the time, and he started coming in and watching the show through the glass. And at some point, I went out. And every once in a while, we'd go out into the coffee shop and interview people for the show, or sometimes I'd just go out and chat with people. And so I went out there and I started talking to Dave, and he was interesting. But I don't remember if I guess maybe I invited him into the studio and just talked to him a little bit here and there. And then I don't remember how he started.
Well, we were always trying to figure out the best way to do Boner of the Week.
Yeah.
Because we talked about doing it, but we're like, is it just voting again? What do we do? And then I can't remember whose idea it was. It was like, how about just someone, totally unbiased, just one person will decide Boner of the Week.
And we knew that Dave listened to the show that intently that he knew all of them. I think that's what surprised us too, that he knew all the Boner candidates all the time.
Yeah.
So that's how. But then we've had further adventures with Dave, I guess. There was a guy who was going to make a documentary film about Dave, who came to town. I think it was a local Salt Lake guy who lives in New York, and he came and filmed a bunch of stuff with me and Dave, and he was gonna, and he never has finished that movie, I think. But
May I read this
Yes.
from the City Weekly in 2006?
Okay.
Best Utah,
Oh, that's right.
Dave Mattson.
Yeah.
Since X96's Radio from Hell campaigned to have their listeners vote for Dave Mattson, pictured above, second from the left, as Best Utah, we asked the show's Bill Allred to give us some background on their candidate.
Huh.
We first met Dave when he started coming into the coffee shop, and he used to be here at the studio. He'd come in with his flower wagon and have something to eat and watch the show through the glass while listening on a headset or radio. Then he'd head out to mow lawns at various businesses in the area. We learned that Dave is in his 40s. This was a while ago. And he grew up with cerebral palsy. We also found out what a remarkable human being Dave is. He doesn't let his disability get him down. We admire Dave self-sufficiently, his sense of humor, and his spirit. Radio from Hell is proud to call Dave Mattson our friend and friends of the program. This is back in 2006. Voted for Dave Mattson as Best Utah. Here's who lost to Dave Mattson.
Okay.
Second place, Rocky Anderson. Third place, John Huntsman Jr.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
Dave Mattson, Dave the flower guy.
Yeah.
And thanks to you, friends of the program, because you did that. We didn't do that. You had to vote for him, and you are coming through right now, helping Dave out. We have a GoFundMe happening. That you probably heard us talk about it, but worth mentioning again that
Because Dave's mother died.
Yeah.
And he is now, and Dave is in his mid to late 50s now, and he's all alone. He has nobody else, at least here in town. So the GoFundMe, if you just go to x96.com, Katie got that up on x96.com, so you can, and it's raised a lot of money so far, but he's going to need more, and we'll figure out a way. We're not just going to give Dave a bucket of money and say,
Good luck.
See ya. I think we'll figure out a way to make sure that he gets it in ways that will help him the most, and let somebody kind of take care of it.
The link to the GoFundMe is at x96.com, as you said, and it's also on all of our social medias. So you can go there and find it. And use the links that we have provided. Don't just go there and search, because there are other Dave Mattson GoFundMes, and we need you to make sure you go to the one that Katie put together.
Yeah, if my name is not on it as the creator, you're at the wrong place.
But if you just go to the links that we've provided, you don't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
Takes you right there.
All right, people like that.
Yeah, we'll have Dave, and we'll have Dave on. Dave's going to be on the show later today.
9:45.
To select Boner of the Week.
It's best question of the week. Send them to us. Radio from Hell at x96.com. Put best question in the subject line. We may.
All right, 6:22. Let's get this over with.
Okay. And if you're, I don't know if anybody's there to check in with the Radio from Hell show at 877-602-9696. I would just point out you should check in with the Radio from Hell show, while there's still time.
Yeah, I mean, I have a piece of paper here that says there isn't anybody listening or checking in, so that's what this piece of paper
Well, there
says.
you go.
Nobody's there.
Well, all right. Maybe it's already too late.
Could be. That could be.
It could be. 877-60. Why are you holding up a coffee mug, Katie? Are you suggesting that we bribe people?
Yeah, it's my way of
I
saying,
don't
do you want to
know.
bribe them for a coffee mug?
Well,
I don't know.
It could be something that you would have to remind you of the greatness that once was.
No, I think that if they need to be coaxed, I don't know if we want them here.
That's true. That's true.
You know?
Wait until later today.
You
I'll
either
be in
want to
Layton.
be here or you don't want to be here, and that's all there is to it.
Later today, I'll be in Layton for 4 to 6 p.m. at Young Chevrolet. And 645 North Main and Layton, and I'll have coffee mugs, Radio from Hell coffee mugs. So, anyway, Gina?
Utah Pride Center presents the Utah Pride Road Rally. Decorate your vehicle and join us Sunday, October 10th to drag Main Street in celebration of National Coming Out Day. Register at utahpridecenter.org. Utah Pride Road Rally is powered by Young Automotive Group.
The moon, I just closed it, dummy. The moon is, there it is, 5.9% of full. It's a waxing crescent moon. The moon will set today at 10:07 a.m., today being Friday. It's the 8th day of October in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2021. And this is, for the time being, the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio. It's Kerry Jackson. It's me, Bill Allred. Hello. It's Gina Barberi. Our producer, Katie for short, is in the studio in downtown Salt Lake, making sure everything runs like a finely tuned watch. And we have Miriam and Cameron Diaz helping out in the producer's booth. And now,
All right.
check-ins, if you've a mind to, at 877-602-9696.
Let's go to Michael.
Michael.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. You prefer Michael or Mike or?
You can call me whatever you want.
Okay.
Phil?
Thanks, Frank. So thanks for checking in with us. Now, you're not doing it because you think we might renege and give you a coffee mug, are you?
No.
Okay. So what's up?
Hey, I was calling to let Kerry know he does the voiceovers on the music, right?
On the,
What do you mean?
what?
The songs that you play at the beginning of the show.
You mean the different little drop-ins during
Yes.
during
Yeah,
the
it's like the voiceover.
Like
Yeah,
these?
the little.
Cool. Like those?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that one that does the bird, right? It goes like caw, caw.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
That one?
similar to
No,
that.
that's me. I do that.
I had an alarm clock that my wife hated, but it was a toucan, and it would do that,
Uh-huh.
and then it would say, "Wake up! Don't sleep your life away." I think you ought to put that on one of your voiceovers.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a great suggestion, Michael. Thanks for.
I know the one he's talking about now. Oh, damn, sorry.
There we go. Yeah, that's it.
That's just a crow. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, just wake up! Don't sleep your life away.
Okay.
That's a great idea, Michael. Thank you. I'm sure that will. You know what? That may forestall the inevitable if we do that.
Here you go, Michael. Before you go, Michael, here you go.
You're late for school.
How about that? Is that
Yeah.
close?
Similar. Very
That's a
similar.
good one too.
All right. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Mike.
All right.
There are
You
two more
choose
people
to have an
online, and
alarm clock.
I didn't hear them. Lauren is next. Hi, Lauren.
Lauren. Hello, Lauren.
Hi, thanks for letting me listen.
You're quite
Thank
welcome.
you.
I just wanted to call and say that I need you to stop saying that we can only check in for a short time, because it makes me sad when you even talk about the possibilities that you might not be on the radio. So I need you to stop.
Well, we don't want to make you sad.
No, and we'd love to stay on the radio.
We would like to continue doing this for as long as we physically can.
We'd like to continue doing this for as long as.
How long, Gina?
I don't know.
Until Muhammad goes to college, at least.
Okay.
Well.
Okay, good.
Well,
Okay.
Gina, do you have to stay longer if he goes to a really good college?
Yeah, because that'll be expensive. So
All right. So depending on the college.
yeah. So Lauren, know that when we talk about these things, it's not that we're like checking out. It's that we may be shown the door.
Yeah.
Just pray, Lauren, just pray that Gina's kid Mohammed is smart enough to get into a good college. An expensive.
All right, I will include you in my prayers.
Thank you.
As I always
Thanks,
say,
Lauren.
Lauren, I can't afford to retire. I will die here. All right. Let's go to Wendy is on the phone. Hello, Wendy.
Hi, long-time listener.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing it.
So
Thanks for
I
putting
wanted
up with
to
it, I guess.
check in
Mm-hmm.
and tell everyone to get vaccinated.
Yes.
My son did get vaccinated, however, and he is in the hospital with
COVID,
Oh no.
and it could be tons worse if he was not.
How old is your son?
He's 33.
So
How long has he been there?
26 days.
Wow.
But it looks like he's improving. Is that what you're, because he had the vaccine?
He is improving with the vaccine because of the vaccine. They
Good.
think he'll make a full recovery.
Well,
good.
gosh, that's hard, Mom, having to watch your boy go through all that. I'm sorry you're dealing with that.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for
All right,
checking
Wendy,
in.
thank you.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, let's get some traffic, please.
Yeah, let's see. One friend of the program is driving back from Montana listening on the app. Thank you. That's sort of a traffic a traffic incident. I thought somebody else said something was going on at Hill Air Force Base. Yeah, south entrance onto Hill Air Force Base. There's a line of cars to get in already, so not sure why that's happening, but thank you for letting us know. We also have, let's see, crash northbound 13th East, 39th South in Salt Lake. And weather could be an issue part of your commute today. We could see some rain affecting traffic, so might want to give yourself some extra time this morning. But if you do see something you want to share, like those other friends of the program did, please text it into us, 33986. Car shopping, check out the 123 sales event, October 7th through the 11th at Young Auto Group locations. Get 1 year of gas, 2.99 interest, and no payments for 3 months OAC, plus 5 years maintenance.
All right. We will take a break. We will be back. We've got big boy news and opinioendo coming up after these. Also, we can wedge in an email of interest as well. 7 o'clock, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake update from Victoria. She watches so that you don't have to. And Boners, round 1, all coming up. Stand by. X96.
Line. Spell it with me now. L-I-N-E. We'll use it now in some dialogue featuring our good friends LeVar and LeGrand. Imagine, if you will, the boys have gotten together for lunch at the High Spot Cafe. The word again is line.
Well, this is good postum here to the High Spot, LeVar.
Look, the words good and postum never go together, LeGrand. Now, the coffee here is mighty fine, but don't tell me there's any difference in any postum you get anywhere. It's all horse pee.
Well, I like it. And that actor guy sure must have gotten rich off on us Utahns when he invented this caffeine-free beverage. Yeah, that Tom Postum has always been funny on the Newhart shows, and he's made a great all-weather beverage, too.
Whoa. Whoa. Now, this song sure brings back the memories. I didn't know they had Madonna music on the jukebox here.
Well, why does it bring back memories for you, LeVar? Do you remember what you was doing the first time you heard the song?
Heard it? Hell, I helped Madonna write it.
Uh-huh. And I had tea with the Queen of England the other day.
I ain't lying, LeGrand. Me and Madonna had kind of a thing for a couple of months back in '87. I guess you could say Madonna was my girlfriend.
Do tell.
If I'm lying, I'm dying, LeGrand. Yep. Miss Chacon and me, that's a real name, you know, was sitting in the breakfast nook one morning after a night of truth or dare, if you know what I mean. So anyway, the phone rings. Madonna answers it and says, "Hey, LeVar, honey, the phone's for you." I said, "Who's that girl?" And the rest is history.
You're lying, LeVar. You're lying through your tobacco-stained teeth.
If I'm lying, then what do you call this?
Yeah. It's a picture of you and Madonna sitting in a breakfast nook.
Yep.
Why, looky there. You got matching pajamas with little horses on them.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying at all. That's really her.
Yep. She'll always be my material girl.
Well, what happened? Why did you break up?
I dumped her.
Why in the heck did you do that?
Well, did I ever tell you about me and Tori Spelling? Crater. Spell it with me now. Crater. C-R-A-T-E-R. And now we'll use it in some dialogue featuring that quintessential Utahn LeGrand R. Dunn and his son, LeGrand R. Dunn II, or LeGrand Jr., as the family calls him. Let's join them now as they stand in the line to see Santa Claus at the mall.
Now you remember, Junior, tell Santy nice and loud what you want for Christmas.
Okay.
But only ask for them inexpensive gifts that we already discussed betwixt the two of us.
I'm afraid of Santa Claus, Dad. He won't hurt me, will he?
Oh, no, of course not. As long as you don't ask him for them expensive gifts.
Okay.
You see that little boy over there with the broken arm?
Yeah.
He asked Sandy for one of them fancy video game thingers. Sandy has a lot of work to do at Christmas time, and he can get a little bit testy.
Well, how come Santa Claus gives us presents at Christmas time? I mean, Christmas is his birthday, not ours. We should give Santa Claus presents.
What? You think Christmas is Sandy Claus's birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, I knew I shouldn't have let you go to public school. I knew I should have kept up with that John and Vicky Singer home study plan. Christmas is not Sandy's birthday.
Well, whose birthday is it then?
Christmas is the birthday of Jesus Christ our Savior. And Jesus is the Son of God, the creator of the universe and the creator of everybody and everything that's in it.
Everybody? I mean, did God create Batman?
Yes.
And Barney?
Yes.
And Coral Malone? And you and me and Mommy and even Santa Claus?
He is the creator of all things.
So I guess if God and Santa Claus got in a fight, God would win then.
That's it. We are getting out of this line and we're going over to Temple Square right now. You have got some learning to do.
All right, 6:35. We do have big boy news, opinioendo, traffic, weather, sports, all right here. Brought to you by
Scott Hale offering a $29 furnace tune-up for appointments scheduled by October 17th. Call 801-264-HALE.
Also coming up, we will have an email of interest in this segment. But, you know, I just was looking through the news, and Mountain Dew, and I'm not a Mountain Dew drinker really at all, but they have a new Mountain Dew coming out. Mountain Dew, I think it's called Mountain Dew Uproar, and it looks as though it's a Mountain Dew with Pepto-Bismol, I think is what it is.
That's
just
handy. If that's
just
what it
looking
really
at the color.
is, that's handy.
The color of it. It's Mountain Dew with Pepto-Bismol.
You can stop your diarrhea and get a real caffeine rush.
Yeah. So Woody Harrelson got into a bar fight, apparently. And, well, they're calling it a physical altercation at a rooftop bar located at the Watergate Hotel in Washington, D.C. He was in a fight with the ghost of Richard Nixon. No, it was G. Gordon Liddy. Apparently some guy was giving him a hard time and then tried to attack him, grab him, and Woody Harrelson pretty much just took care of him. Just punched him
I don't think
out.
you want to get in a fight with Woody Harrelson.
And
I think he could take you.
He's Cletus Cassidy.
Okay, I'm making a note of that right here, Gina.
I don't think.
Do not get into a fight with
No,
Woody
I
Harrelson.
wouldn't do that.
He's carnage.
So anyway, he pretty much took care of the guy. Woody is 60 years old, and he didn't have any trouble dealing with the guy. And the cops said, "It's fine." He was self-defense.
defending himself.
Yeah, self-defense. And then I heard this interview yesterday with Matthew McConaughey, where he and it's an in-depth interview with.
Every interview with Matthew McConaughey is an in-depth interview.
I forget her name now all of a sudden, but she's a podcast person for the Washington Post. Anyway, and I listened to that whole interview, and Don't let him run for governor.
Well, what he said. You listen to the whole interview. He's basically said he's not running for. He said.
I don't think he did say that.
Yeah, he said.
I listened to it.
Well, you don't see. I speak McConaughey. So. Allow me to interpret.
She's got you there. Right?
He's not running for governor.
He's well, okay. I didn't quite get that.
He said if I could be the governor the way I would want to be governor, then I'd want to be governor. But I can't be the governor the way I would want to be governor.
Well, not talking directly or taking sides, McConaughey dodged talking about policies other than he did talk about abortion a little bit. And said, well, I don't think the policy we have here is not a good policy. Wrapping up the interview, he said that Texas and the country are not in a good place right now, but all hope is not lost. It's not. If I go to the individual, it's not going to happen by policy. It's going to have to be a personal choice that most of us are going to have to make on our own, and that collectively will build the army that's going to get us out of this and not just to survive, but to thrive. All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Sure.
Yeah. And Kanye West is opening a new school.
No, that's not
Kanye University, the Donda Academy. And I don't know what degrees they're going to offer there. Pfizer is seeking FDA authorization for the COVID-19 vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11, and they said the Food and Drug Administration says that they hope to have a decision on this by the end of the month. They're going to look at all of the details and make sure the data is good and solid, and then they will make their
And
decision.
what they're saying is that the kids will get a little smaller dose than adults.
I'm unclear, Gina. Maybe you know this. Now, when you get the Pfizer vaccine, when an adult gets the Pfizer vaccine, you get a shot, and then you get the second shot, what is it, a month later. And does that second shot have less vaccine,
No,
or is it
it's
the
the
same?
same. It's
And
the
then
same.
how about the booster? Is that
It's the
less?
same.
So it's all the same strength.
All the same.
Okay. Just I was thinking about that. I thought, geez, I don't know. Utah reported 1,805 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday, along with 9 additional deaths. Pretty much what this means is that more Utahns now, the number of Utahns who have died of COVID-19 since the start of the coronavirus pandemic now exceeds the number of victims who were killed in the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
Just here in Utah.
Yeah, that's just here in Utah. It's just over 700,000 nationwide. I think yesterday I saw 704,000. We're barreling toward 1 million deaths.
And our ICUs are officially 100% full.
Yeah.
So don't get in a
100%
car
full.
accident or have a heart attack. I know you're planning a heart attack for later today.
I
Don't
had
do
one
that.
scheduled. I
No,
was waiting for
don't
the
have a
rain to
stroke.
come in.
Maybe
I was
it's
going to do
cancel
it
it.
during the
Cancel it.
rainstorm.
No.
An independent investigation has substantiated claims by a woman who, while working on the 2020 campaign to elect Governor Spencer Cox and Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, said she experienced sexual misconduct by the campaign's manager, Austin Cox, who is no relation to the governor. Now, Cox, that is Spencer Cox, the governor, and Deidre Henderson announced the results of the investigation, which said that they concluded this week in a joint statement posted by Cox, the governor, on his Twitter account on Thursday. We're devastated to learn of this abuse of trust and condemn this kind of behavior in the strongest terms, the governor wrote. Cox and Henderson said recently the former campaign employee revealed to us that she believed she was the victim of sexual misconduct by our campaign manager, Austin Cox, no relation to the governor, Spencer Cox, although the Cox that was in the news yesterday, John, I think it is, Cox.
Different Cox.
Who was had to do with the he's a lobbyist for Rocky Mountain Power, but he is related to Governor Cox, and there was people questioning the propriety of him putting there. You know, there are a lot of Cox up there. That's the whole
I
thing.
like cock.
I don't. Cock. There are. Well,
I like cock.
Now, Cox. I think Austin Cox, in his own prepared statement, said, "Oh no, this was the governor." See,
it's hard to keep track.
He was devastated to learn of the violation of trust and saddened by the pain it caused. Austin Cox did not respond for a request for a comment. Brian Laundrie's father is going to join the manhunt for his fugitive son. So no, this will be good. This will be good because the FBI and everybody's searching for Brian Laundrie, and now his father will be involved, and his father will say, I think we ought to go over there, and then everybody else will go, okay, let's go the opposite direction then.
Yeah, he's got such a head start. He's in Mexico or Canada or
No, you guys, I already looked in the basement. It's empty. I promise.
Don't bother.
So long gone.
Don't bother looking in Mexico. I know he's not there, the father will say.
He never liked Mexican food.
Yeah.
He always liked Thai food. He liked Thai food. That's it.
Exactly. So oh no, I don't want to do that story. I want to do, this is not good news. And this is a little bit of a little story kind of hidden away today. Apparently, a U.S. Special Operations Unit and a contingent of Marines has been secretly operating in Taiwan to train military forces there, U.S. officials said. Part of efforts to shore up the island's defenses because the Chinese have been flying warplanes over Taiwan and making threatening. So we're there, kind of secret. This is not good news. This does not bode well for peace in the world. When we're there trying to shore up an army that is, I'm shore up an army that if it had to go up against the Chinese would have no.
That's a Band-Aid.
Yeah. So if they wouldn't have any chance at all, so then, well, maybe we'd have to help them some more, and then maybe we'd have to. I don't trust it. I just don't trust it.
This is the first time hearing of it.
Yeah.
Look into it.
Brazil police found a collection of more than 8,000 items of Nazi memorabilia on Tuesday at the house of a pedophile suspect in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Really?
Now, so think about some of this. You remember the movie Boys from Brazil?
It's about cloning.
Well, and it's about
Wasn't
yeah. But it was set in Brazil because of all those Nazis, those Nazi higher-ups. They escaped and they hid out and a lot of people thought Brazil. Oh, it was Dr. Mengele who had performed lots of hideous experiments on Jewish concentration camp prisoners. And it was Dr. Mengele did in fact go to Brazil. Now, he wasn't cloning people or all that. That was a fiction. But he was a hideous human being.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting that this collection of Nazi memorabilia, estimated to be worth 3 million euros, or about $3.5 million, it contained a variety of items from the Third Reich, official uniforms, flags, insignias, coins, medals, images of Adolf Hitler, guns, and ammo from the Nazi regime, according to the Rio de Janeiro police. It is appalling. I've never seen anything like this. I felt like I was at Inglourious Bastards movie, said one of the police captains. The memorabilia were discovered when police went to the 58-year-old man's home to serve an arrest warrant on a suspicion of pedophilia after his neighbors reported seeing him approach children and tried to take them to his property.
Yeah. So these are just horrible people. They continue to be horrible people.
Yeah.
The Fuhrer was a terrific dancer.
And let's see.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Sports weather traffic.
So, Shelley Meyer, Urban Meyer's wife,
of 36 years or
37 years.
This is a serious move, the thing you're about to report.
Well, she posted her final post on Twitter. She said, "That's it. I'm leaving Twitter. You people are horrible. the hate, vitriol, slander, and trash that I've been experiencing. I don't want to do it anymore. And then she says, so this is Urban Meyer's wife. Of course, he was caught on video with the lady lap dancing. Okay, that's one thing. But then there was another video of him,
Yeah. He was
his hand disappeared. I'll just say that. And so she said, we all make mistakes. We're all sinners. If you think you aren't, cast the first stone. So she's vehemently defending him, it would seem. And I guess that's their marriage and between the two of them. But I can't fathom. If I saw a video of my husband doing what her husband was doing, he would not be my husband anymore. That would be the end of that. I'm surprised that she is just saying, well, we all are sinners.
There are people who, they have different relationships. Don't try.
I can't. I don't. I won't. The Utes, who Urban Meyer used to coach for one season, and then he took
Was it
off.
only one?
Yep. One pretty incredible season. I'll give him that. But one season. They're on the road against USC tomorrow, and Aaron Lowe's mom actually came and talked to the team because I guess there was some thought that maybe they are all too upset to play. Like, I don't know if we can do. And she came and said, Aaron would want you to play. I want you to play. She gave him, apparently a really lovely pep talk. And so they're on their way to California to play USC tomorrow. That game's at 6 o'clock.
If it's any help, I want them to play as well.
Okay, so Bill wants you to play.
All right.
Boise State at BYU tomorrow at 1:30. That's sports. Weather. So we're in that rainy pattern I was telling you about. Looks like we will have a high of 65 today and a 90% chance of showers. So it's going to rain today.
All right.
That's weather.
Traffic? Did you have traffic?
We're good. Let's just move along. How about?
Well, let's move along then, because I believe we have an email of interest.
We do. It was sent to us under the heading of, here's an email of interest. It's from a longtime friend of the program. His name is Chuck Kravanek. Now, let's preface this email of interest briefly, and I don't want to go into too many details about this whole story, but many years ago, Chuck was married to a woman who we knew, who had been sort of around radio, and we didn't really know Chuck, but this woman was around radio, and she worked a little bit at KJQ, and then she moved on to another station and so forth, and she got married to Chuck. I think the last time I saw her, I ran into her at a grocery store. She was very nice. We had a really great conversation. But then it turns out that she committed a homicide. This was in 2002, I think. In December of 2002. Yeah. And she killed someone, and she's currently in the prison in serving a 5-year to life sentence. And because of the nature of the crime, and I won't, again, if you want to look it up, her name was Sally Kravanek. Because of the nature of the crime, my guess is she'll be in prison. It was 5 years to life, but I'm leaning toward it'll be life.
Probably.
So anyway, Chuck sent this email of interest because we were talking yesterday about families who have these things happen to them, and then they get beset by the media, and they go on Dr. Phil, and they talk to the media, and they go on, back then it would have been Sally Jesse Raphael's show, or they go on Oprah, or they go on news, and they talk about all of this stuff even before it's been settled, before any of the facts are known. The families will go on and talk about it. Well, Chuck sent this email saying, "Hey, Lords of Radio, it's been a while since I've reached out, but I have some news. My son, Nico," he and Sally had two kids, I think. Nico has a show at the Utah Museum of Contemporary Art. The title of his show is Dear Sally, Love Mom. It's an exhibition of photographs that Nico has done. Now, Chuck goes on to say in the email of interest, "Sally introduced you to me when I first moved out to Salt Lake, and I've been listening to you guys ever since. You're a part of my daily ritual when I wake up 6 a.m. every day. Today you talked about people who talk to the media after a tragedy or legal issue, and this really brought a whole range of emotions back to me. As I can imagine.
I'm sure.
When things went down, I had reporters at my door. When we had court dates, we had microphones in our faces. And when he says we, he means him, and at that time, his kids were really young. As a reasonably intelligent person, I realized if you don't talk, it will just minimize the drama. If you don't talk, it will minimize the drama. So I think what he's saying there is don't talk. Don't add to the chaos and the drama. Of course, I never got famous or I never got rich, but I'm proud of how my boys have grown up. And I hope that Nico's show expresses that in some way. But here are some of my learnings from all of this. Even good people do bad things. There's a continuum. The media rarely adds much to a bad situation since they just want to make money. And children have only one mother and one father, no matter how flawed they might be. They need to make the best of that relationship. So if you get the chance, stop by and see Nico's show. And he's inviting us, the Radio from Hell show, but he's in kind inviting all of you to see this art show. And if you really feel compelled, buy a ticket to the opening on October 29th. It's a costume party. But the show, I can tell you where you can see more about the show. If you go to Utah MOCA, that's Utah, MOCA, .org, and then you'll look for the Nico Kravanek Dear Sally photograph show. They'll give you some details there about it. And I looked at one of the photographs, really nice stuff. So, Chuck, it was nice to hear from you. He closes by saying, "Thanks for being who you are."
There we go. An email of interest. Traffic, Gina, please. Or are we okay?
And excuse me.
You got excuse me?
Yeah, Urban Meyer coached 2 seasons. He was here for just a hot minute. That's all I meant. But thank you for that. Excuse me. Free ladder northbound I-15 just after the 70th South on-ramp. Thank you for that. Northbound I-15 has slowage near 72nd. Perhaps it's because of the ladder that's there. I'm guessing that comes from 2 different people.
Well, maybe it's from the former.
They sent it in via text at 33986. You can too. Just make sure it's safe for you to text when you do that. Flying Vampires, yes. Dracula the Ballet arrives October 22nd. Tickets at balletwest.org.
We will take a break. We will be back after this. We've got Victoria on the phone with our Real Housewives of Salt Lake update. She watches so that we don't have to right after these, along with round 1 of your boners and some big boy news. KXRK Provo.
It's simple. We give you a lot of music.
Are you sure about this?
Listen for a 1-hour nonstop music wingding 3 times per day. Oh, nice. Put these times in your phone as a reminder. 10 a.m. right after Radio from Hell. 1 p.m. in the middle of your workday with Corey O'Brien. And at 4:30 when you're heading home from work with Todd Newcomb. 1 hour nonstop music wingdings every weekday, 10, 1,